Welcome back to the Real Bio Protocol. Cold open orthopedic surgeons are watching their waiting rooms empty out. Not because people stopped getting injured, because people stopped needing them. Right now, thousands of athletes, weekend warriors and chronic pain sufferers are healing torn tendons, damaged ligaments and destroyed joints using 2 peptides that cost less than a single MRI copay. A stack so effective that people are canceling scheduled surgeries after 8 weeks of use. The medical establishment calls it unproven. The people walking without pain for the first time in years call it a miracle. This is the BPC-157 and TB-500 healing stack. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your doctor never mentioned it, how it actually works at the cellular level, and the precise protocol that's changing everything we thought we knew about injury recovery. ACT1 The problem. Here's what modern medicine tells you about soft tissue injuries. You tear a tendon, rest it for months, maybe physical therapy. If it's bad enough, surgery. Then 6 months to a year of recovery. Maybe you'll be 80% of what you were. Maybe damaged cartilage. They'll tell you it doesn't regenerate. Here's some cortisone. Come back when you need a joint replacement. Chronic tendonitis, anti-inflammatories that destroy your gut lining. Ice it. Live with it. This is the standard of care in 2024, and it's pathetically inadequate. The average ACL reconstruction costs $40,000. Rotator cuff surgery, $20,000 minimum. And here's what they don't tell you in the pre-op consultation. 30% of rotator cuff repairs fail within 2 years. Re-tear rates for ACL reconstructions hover around 15%. These surgeries aren't cures. They're expensive gambles with brutal recovery timelines. Meanwhile, the pharmaceutical industry pushes NSAIDs that studies show actually impair tendon healing. They slow collagen synthesis. They reduce blood flow to damaged tissue. The thing your doctor prescribes for your injury is literally making it harder for your body to heal. But there's a reason this system persists. Orthopedic surgery is a $90 billion industry. Pain management is a $30 billion industry. You healing quickly and completely at home, that's not a revenue stream. That's a threat. ACT2 The hidden truth. In 1991, researchers in Croatia discovered a peptide sequence in human gastric juice that did something remarkable. It accelerated wound healing at rates that shouldn't have been possible. They named it Body Protection Compound 157, BPC-157. Since then, over 100 published studies have documented its effects. Accelerated tendon healing, enhanced ligament repair, increased angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels, protection of organs from damage, reduction of inflammation without impairing the healing process. A 2010 study in the Journal of Orthopedic Research showed BPC-157 accelerated healing of transected Achilles tendons in rats by over 60%. Another study demonstrated it reversed damage caused by systemic corticosteroid use, the very drugs doctors prescribe that impair healing. Then there's thymosin beta-4, known as TB-500. Originally isolated from the thymus gland, this peptide is your body's natural wound healing signal. A 2012 study in the Annals of the New York Academy of Sciences documented its ability to promote cell migration, blood vessel formation, and reduce inflammation. Research on cardiac tissue showed it could regenerate heart muscle after damage. Here's what makes the stack so powerful. BPC-157 works locally at the injury site, dramatically increasing growth factors and collagen deposition. TB-500 works systemically, signaling your entire body to enter a heightened repair state. Together, they create a healing environment that normally only exists during fetal development. When you were in the womb, you could regenerate tissue perfectly. These peptides partially reactivate those dormant pathways. ACT3 The mechanism. Let's get into exactly what's happening at the cellular level, because understanding the mechanism is what separates informed users from guinea pigs. BPC-157 upregulates growth hormone receptors in damaged tissue. This means even your natural growth hormone becomes more effective at the injury site. It increases expression of genes related to collagen formation, specifically types 1 and 3, the primary structural proteins in tendons and ligaments. It promotes angiogenesis through the VEGF pathway, vascular endothelial growth factor. More blood vessels means more nutrient delivery, more waste removal, faster healing. But here's what's really fascinating. BPC-157 also modulates the nitric oxide system. It protects endothelial cells, maintains blood flow, and has demonstrated the ability to heal damage caused by NSAID use. The very drugs that were hurting you, this peptide reverses their damage. TB-500 works through a different pathway. It binds to actin, a protein that forms the skeleton inside your cells. This promotes cell migration, meaning repair cells can actually get to the damaged site faster. It also reduces inflammatory cytokines without suppressing the initial inflammatory response your body needs to begin healing. This is crucial. Most anti-inflammatories work by blocking all inflammation. TB-500 modulates it, keeping the beneficial aspects while reducing chronic inflammatory cascades. When you stack these peptides, you're addressing injury recovery from multiple angles simultaneously. Local tissue repair, systemic healing signals, collagen synthesis, blood vessel formation, inflammation modulation. It's the difference between throwing one tool at a problem and deploying an entire repair crew. BPC-157 real-world application. The standard healing stack protocol that's producing results runs for 8 to 12 weeks. BPC-157 dosing typically falls between 250 to 500 micrograms daily. TB-500 loading phase is usually 2 to 2.5 milligrams twice weekly for the first 4 to 6 weeks, then reduced to once weekly for maintenance. Most users inject subcutaneously near the injury site for BPC-157 to maximize local concentration. TB-500 can be injected anywhere subcutaneously since it works systemically. Timing matters. Many protocols call for morning administration on an empty stomach. Some users split their BPC-157 dose, taking half in the morning and half in the evening to maintain stable blood levels. The peptides should be reconstituted with bacteriostatic water and stored refrigerated. Once reconstituted, they remain stable for several weeks. Critical point here: peptide quality varies enormously. Third-party testing for purity is non-negotiable. The gray market is flooded with underdosed and contaminated products. Reputable sources provide certificates of analysis. Don't skip this step. You're injecting this into your body. ACT5. The bigger picture: this isn't just about healing faster. This is about reclaiming agency over your own body. The current medical system profits from your prolonged suffering. Every week you spend in physical therapy, every follow-up appointment, every prescription refill represents revenue. A solution you can administer at home for a fraction of the cost disrupts that entire model. There's a reason these peptides remain scheduled in most countries but aren't FDA approved. Approval requires hundreds of millions in clinical trials. Who's going to fund that for a naturally occurring compound that can't be patented? The incentive structure is broken, so the research sits in journals. The evidence accumulates, and people keep getting surgery they might not need. Your body has the capacity to heal. It just needs the right signals. BPC-157 and TB-500 provide those signals. The science is out there. They just don't want you finding it. That's why we're here. This is the real bio protocol.